You're listening to the All Elite Podcast, your favorite AEW fan podcast for in-depth analysis and discussions about the #1 growing brand in professional wrestling today, All Elite Wrestling. This podcast is broadcasted live on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch on behalf of the No Holds Barred Network. The network is your source for wrestling interviews and podcast content featuring independent wrestling and AEW. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So sit back, relax, and interact in the live chat. Enjoy the show.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the All Elite Podcast right here in the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I am your host as always. I am your self-proclaimed greatest host. I am personally victimized by Danny Jordan. My name is Kyle Masters, and I'm always joined by my co-host. She is the woman of many nicknames, the EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the queen of the indies herself. That's Tiffany.
Look, I'm getting all these like pop-up thingies, but anyway,
thingies.
Yeah, my phone. So we got to mute this while we do this podcast. Wait, can we just sit and admire this beautiful makeup here right now? Like, glazed donut.
Glazed donut. So
glazed donut.
Our good friend. Sorry, I'll let you do it. I'll let you do the introduction.
Okay, yes, please. So actually, she's here. So you guys know her in the chat. The Brooklyn Wolf of Makeup. Are you gonna pop in? She's gonna pop in. Hi. That's April. You guys seen her on the network plenty of times on indie talks and all that good stuff. So yeah, so she did.
Look like a glazed donut.
Glazed donut, okay? Glaze.
Okay.
Glaze. And McDuff's here too. So, but wait, I gotta be like, Britt Baker. Where's my makeup?
Reba.
So
okay,
yeah,
so
that's
you got
going
your
on.
own Reba or Rebel today. That's
yeah,
awesome.
that girl.
And now the dog's barking. Oh, well.
McDuff, come here. You want to say hi?
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
Welcome to the All Elite Podcast, where myself and Tiff go over everything in the AEW world, keeping you guys up to date with everything AEW, like Dynamite, Dark, dogs barking, stuff like that. And most importantly, anything going on in the AEW world, which we will cover on this podcast. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you're a returning fan, thank you for coming back. Thank you for downloading the episode. If you are a audio listener, if you are a watcher backer, thank you. Or if you are a live watcher on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, or Twitter, thank you for tuning in live. Make sure you interact in the live chat with all our fans out there. We like to have fan discussions, get you guys in on a conversation show. Try to participate as much as possible if you guys want to be featured in the podcast.
Podcast.
But yeah, I am wearing today my new t-shirt. Just came in today for the podcast. I was wondering if it would. I was personally victimized by Danny Jordan. She's become one of my new favorites just from watching AEW Dark. I grew up with Mean Girls. Mean Girls is one of my it's literally in my favorite movie. If I had like a favorite movie bin, Mean Girls is in there 100%. I don't know what it is. I love that movie.
Can't sit with us. Can't sit with us, okay?
I used to be able to quote it a lot. Not as much anymore, but like when it like first came out for like that whole year after, oh god, I was quoting the hell out of that movie. It was fantastic. And I know there's a lot of fans of that movie out there.
Yes.
But my buddy Anton in the chat, the devil's in the next room. The 2K soundtrack, the 2K19 soundtrack is it's annoying, but it's good at the same time. And there's that one song, and we have a joke with that. But yeah, Tiff looks like a glazed donut.
I'm a glazed donut, okay? Like that glazed donut.
Interesting. But we're here to talk some AEW. But before we get anywhere, guys, first things first. mentioned it a couple of weeks ago that we're going to have another returning guest, another special guest host on the podcast. Next week, we are having our AEW Revolution predictions. It's finally here, and boy, did we ever get another step towards Revolution this week, which we'll discuss later on. But we have our predictions next week, and to announce our guest host, here we go, the moment of truth. Joining us next week, it's been a long time coming with this guy. So we've been big fans of his. He's been big fans of us. Chat with him on the Twitter DMs all the time. But my buddy, our good pal, Samster203, if you know him on Twitter, at KalafSammy, is going to be joining us for the predictions next week. That's his Twitter picture, if you guys need a reference. He's a very, very avid Twitter, very avid in the Twitter community, especially the wrestling Twitter community. He's going to be joining us on the prediction show next week. We are super excited to have him on the show and to discuss AEW, because it's been a long time coming. He's been a big fan of our podcast, been a big fan of his, so I cannot wait for next week.
Yes, exciting.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else for podcast stuff. No, I don't.
No podcast stuff.
I mean, you've upgraded your computer. We've already kind of mentioned that. I'm slowly upgrading my laptop because I figure out I can't game on this laptop. So for you guys wondering, I keep bringing up gaming on the podcast that I want to do content for the network. Unfortunately, I don't have the proper equipment. So now I have to save up for a gaming computer.
Yes, welcome to my world.
So
welcome to my world.
In the meantime, I will be upgrading this laptop that I have in front of me. I'm going to be upgrading the RAM and all that mumbo jumbo, so at least can have better upgrades for this podcast, at least, and any live streaming that we do. So that kind of helps with that. But it sucks I can't really do any more gaming as much anymore, because that just it puts a whole lot on my poor little laptop here. That, man, it's funny how much laptops just go out of date, because I feel like I just got this laptop, not too long ago, and now all of a sudden it's out of date, and there's so much out of date with it. It's crazy how much progression in the laptop or the computer world that happens. That 1 year could be gone and your shit's out of date. You got to replace everything. It sucks. Anywho, Rihu.
Yes, let's talk some AEW.
Got to talk some AEW. So around the AEW world. So I do have a few things here. Let me get my
Going
notes
in the
out.
world, Kyle. What's going on in the world of AEW?
What in the world is wrong with AEW? No, not wrong. There's a few things, but we'll get into that.
What's wrong?
I was just talking about the big thing. The big thing right off the bat.
All right, let's talk about it.
And is a big thing.
What are we talking about?
For this show. The big thing for the show. Big show. See, you got hurt. Paul Wight, a.k.a. or formerly known as Big Show, officially signs with All Elite Wrestling, and literally the most out of left field thing, or signing, I guess, or to happen in the wrestling world, because no one saw this coming. This wasn't teased. There was no rumors of this happening. This is literally just you woke up in the morning and Paul Wight is All Elite. It's like, what?
I was confused.
I thought it was a joke. I thought someone was pulling a prank.
Oh, you thought it was like somebody was just like putting his photo on the backdrop of it? Is like, this one's All Elite?
So I didn't see the official AEW post at first. I saw someone taking the picture and putting it on their own Twitter post, right? And I'm like, oh,
right.
What are people trying to do now? Like, leave Paul Wight alone. But no, sure enough, I go to AEW's Twitter account, and it's for reals. Paul Wight is All Elite. And I'm like, okay, what? So I read the press release. I had to make sure what he was doing here for. So I'm glad that it's more of a commentary basis.
Right.
Which is great, because this guy's not coming in here to be the next world champion. We know that.
Well, Matt Awesome just put in the chat. He goes, that was an awesome signing. He needs something to do than being catering.
Yikes. I mean, I can't sit here and rain on Big Show's parade. The guy is one of the greatest big guys in wrestling out there. Like, he's achieved so much at this point. I think signing with AEW is very, very smart from Tony Khan's part. This guy could come in and be an excellent coach or tool for the big guys that are already there. You think about it, like Big Show's, if there's a big guy they can learn from, it's the Big Show, right?
If there's a big guy.
You know what I mean?
I love it. No, I know. It was just, yeah.
So, like, this is a great signing. People shouldn't be raining on this, and, put your criticisms aside with the whole AEW and WWE war out there. This is a great signing by AEW, not just because he'll wrestle maybe once or twice this year for a spot or two, which we know that's going to happen. But for the second part of the signing, which is a commentary role, which they kind of announced two things in one, which I was weirded out why the one got overshadowed by the other. So they said there was going to be a commentary role for the new Monday show, AEW Dark Elevation. I'm like, hey, wait, what? What's Elevation? Why? What? I was ultra confused. And then I was like, wait, so commentary? How is he even going to work on commentary? I've never heard this guy sit on commentary before. Has he been on commentary ever? Like, I don't know. I don't know how good he is.
Well, I would think that, like, even if you've never done it before, obviously you have knowledge to get behind commentary and do it.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not opposed to, because AEW smart. Like, people's gotta stop and pump the brakes a lot on Big Show. Oh, he's gonna come in here and steal time from the town. No, he's not.
Yeah,
he'll come in here and have a spot or two in a match, which I think everyone is agreeing and waiting for, because there was one person in particular on the AEW roster that was the most excited, because it was like he was freaking out and people were going nuts because they knew about it. And as Marco Stunt was losing his mind
right
when Big Show signed, because he's always wanted to do and work with him.
That's
if they
awesome.
do a Big Show and Marco Stunt like tag team for like one match, I'm okay with that. If it's against like a mid-card tag team guy, who cares? Let them do it.
I'm sorry, you don't want to see him in the baby diaper?
No, the New Year's Eve baby diaper. No, this is not that company. They're not going to make him do that. If it's a BTE skit, probably. TV, absolutely not.
Daniel says, how long until Big Show joins the Nightmare Factory?
I don't think so. No. And if he's here for this commentary of this new show, we know he's not going to be wrestling right off the bat.
Right.
Although, I know next week we have Shaq and Jade against Cody and Red Velvet. Apparently, Cody has actually done something to his rotator cuff. So he is probably hurt. I don't know how much he's recovered from this. But if he's hurt and can't go next week, don't get it twisted here. Big Show actually might get in the ring as soon as possible.
All right.
He might go in there and replace Cody Rhodes, because I know I remember when this was happening in WWE, when Shaq and Big Show, they were doing that big tease for WrestleMania with those. People were actually like genuinely excited for that. Like, that was a thing. And then WWE just never pulled the trigger, never did it. And people were very upset because they wanted to see it. Two big guys in two different sports, like, and two of the most well-known big guys in their two different sports going at it in a wrestling ring. That's entertainment. So,
right.
I don't know. I was weirded out at first, and then, obviously when you start to look into it more, you start to understand and everything. So I thought it was interesting. But now he's going to be commentating with Tony Schiavone, of all people, for this show. And we'll talk about the show, AEW Dark Elevation. So people were confused, and I was confused at first. I'm like, hey, wait, what's AEW Dark then if we have AEW Dark Elevation? It's like, what's going on here? Like, you have, because they came out and said that Elevation is going to be used to showcase top independent talent and up-and-coming AEW stars. So that'll be an hour show every Monday geared towards them only. So we're not going to see main roster people showing up on AEW Dark Elevation. This is just going to be a show featuring top independent talent and upcoming AEW stars.
Oh, man.
So that's going to be interesting, because now people are going to wonder, like Tiff here, who's AKA why she's called Queen of the Indies. She's going to be losing their shit wondering who's going to appear on Elevation every damn week.
Yes. Oh my God. Can we get all my favorite people? Can I talk to Tony Khan? But listen,
sign him.
Anthony again, go. Let's go.
Just
let me start.
Give him the list.
just listen to all my Under the Ropes, okay, and get everybody on Under the Ropes on to the show. That's it. So
yeah. So it's basically going to be kind of like what Dark is now, but with just more independent and up and coming stars. Because currently the Dark now it's like a healthy mix. I know they've been featuring more independent and up and coming stars more than usual. Right now on Dark, you get your fair share of like main roster people coming in and out. Like John Moxley will come in and have a match one week, or Baker's going to be there, or someone like that. So I'm glad they're going to stick to just that for the show. Now, how does Paul Wight and Tony Schiavone come across as commentary on a show like this? You're going to expect those guys are going to have to do like, their research. Cause you know what, like you have a guy like Excalibur who knows like almost everything in wrestling. He knows like every background about every independent guy that's come through there. If you listen to Dark, he knows like everything about the new independent guy that makes their AEW debut. So you're going to have Siobhan and Big Show hopefully do their homework on these guys.
But Big Show does know a lot about the independent scene. So it's a great like advocate for it. I mean, they should just have me come on because I just want to sit there and talk about independent wrestling. But that's besides the point.
I don't think you pay attention to the match. I think you just lose track and start going off about their accolades all match. Oh, I remember seeing him in this match and he did this.
Listen, I could put some good people together. I'd like it, but
Oh man, but yeah, it's interesting, but I'm excited for that type of show. I think that's a good way to do it. And you think about it now, people wondering, okay, then what are they going to do with Dark? Dark is obviously going to be, when we go back to normal, AEW Dark is going to be going back to its original, what originally it was. It was the Dark matches when they were traveling around, and there was like 2 or 3 matches. We're not going to get this hour and a half to 2 hours long Dark we've been getting every single week with like 18 matches. That's going to eliminate itself, and then, those matches are going to be pushed over to Elevation. We'll get like 4 Dark matches tops of like main roster people who just didn't appear on Dynamite.
Right.
So I'm excited. I'm very excited for this new show. I'm wondering, it's supposed to debut, actually, it was the 2nd week of March or 3rd week of March.
There's a lot of wrestling. It's hard. I was telling Kyle last night. I was like, I said just another show added for me like that. I had no time to watch between all the regular independent shows that I like and shows that I go see. And then, oh my goodness. But
the good thing is it's on YouTube. So it's like you don't have to catch it live, which is good. So, and that's not even the other thing, because now there's still another show that they still have to announce. There's still going to be a second TNT show, which I'm assuming that's not going to be until we're back to normal. Like when AEW is traveling again, they're going from city to city, and we're back to normal a little bit. Like they can start putting almost full capacity in an arena. That's when we'll get the announcement, or we'll get the announcement beforehand, but that's when it'll make its debut. I'm still assuming it's going to be either a Thursday night, which sucks because if it is, I don't know what we're doing with this pod, or it's going to be a Saturday night show.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out when we get there. But some other things that came out in the AEW world. So Tony Khan actually had an interview with Brian Alvarez, which I thought was pretty cool. I'm like, damn. So Tony Khan is he's going to like the main dirt sheets, and he's like, I'll do an interview with you. Like Vince McMahon would never fucking do this.
Right.
So it's interesting. So I was sent to this by our good friend Bill. It's kind of like notes from this interview. So Tony Khan said later this week, the one we're in, we'll get information on AEW content on various platforms, whatever that means. Tony said that the AEW New Japan relationship is in effect, but travel restrictions are preventing talent from being exchanged. Once they are lifted, get ready for some surprises, he says. So kind of like what me and Tiff have already been saying. We're not going to see the Okadas, the Ibushis, the Natos, all that, Jay White. We're not going to see these guys hop on over to AEW or Impact anytime soon. We're going to wait until we're back to normal, and then we'll start getting stuff going.
Jay White, I'm pretty sure, is in Florida.
Oh, well. I don't know. I still can't see him appearing.
Yeah.
Anywho, Tony also said that there will be old and new faces showing up on Dynamite very soon. Tony said that we will get more news regarding Revolution on Dynamite, which we did. This is a cool story about Tony Khan and Tay Conti. Apparently, when Tony Khan saw Tay Conti at an NXT house show years ago, he immediately thought of her as a star. She was working as a manager at the live event. She wasn't even wrestling, and he saw an instant star in Tay Conti. And I guarantee you, he was, as soon as she became a free agent, he went and played that hard. He's like, "Hey, get over here. You're AEW." And look at, I mean, they've done a really good job with her. They've done a good job with focusing her. The whole pair up with Anna Jay has been perfect. They had those two in the AEW Women's Tag Tournament. She's
got a great look to her, and me and Kyle have always been a fan of hers in NXT.
Yeah. And then lastly, Tony said the 6th participant of the Face of the Revolution ladder match won't be revealed until the pay-per-view itself.
I love that.
So who's
going
to be this new guy?
So the question is it somebody that's going to be on the roster already? Is it going to be someone new? Is it going to be someone that maybe we've seen in Dark?
I'm going to guess it's Dark, and I guess I know who it is.
Who do you think it is?
Making a big deal with this guy every damn week. Lee Johnson. I guarantee you it's going to be Lee Johnson.
Okay.
Got to be Lee Johnson.
Give him a shot. Why not, right?
If they're so highly with him, they put him in the Nightmare Factory. That's got to mean something. That's my guess, Lee Johnson. You guys let us know in the chat who you think it is. If it's someone new, if it's someone coming in from another company, that'd still be cool.
Yeah.
Whoever it is, I don't think we're going to hear a coin drop and see Okada come out. I'm just saying it could be maybe it's someone from Impact. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see. But we'll talk about Anna Jay. So sucks about her. We found out she's injured. Separated shoulder. She needs surgery. Out 6 to 8 months. Could be up to a year with recovery time.
No, I like John Silver was like, oh no on Twitter. That was
Did you
great.
See? Tweeted, he went by a train that said Anna on it.
So you know what? It's funny because this is being brought up in the chat and I forgot about it because my mind. Yeah. But Brad and Metal are talking about Ethan Page being the 6th person. Ethan Page is MIA.
Yeah.
And he's a free agent. I'm all for it. Or Jake something. I'm all for Ethan Page coming out as his karate gimmick going on.
That would be cool. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, that would be cool. I'm going to be a Homer guy here. Maybe Sean Spears, because where the hell has he been, right? He cut that crazy, like, off-the-track promo, and we never seen from him since. Maybe he comes back. Who knows? It's going to be something, but I'm glad he's keeping it a surprise. It's going to be. It keeps everyone wanting to tune in to see who it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, Anna Jay, it sucks. I thought it was fake at first, but then like when an injury says 6 to 8 months, that's not fake. If it's just like injured and she could, we don't know a timeline, that's fake.
All right.
But that kind of sucks. I mean, I hope she gets to stick around and still do like Dark Order bits. She can still do, like come out to ringside with them at least while she's recovering. So hopefully they don't just, pull her away and we don't see her for a while.
So I'm reading some of the stuff in the chats. So Matt thinks Marty, but I've heard Marty Skrull got spotted in backstage of New Japan. Oh. And then
it's too early.
Says you think you could see Tia at Revolution. Our girl Zelina Vega, aka Tia. That would be kind of cool.
Where would you put her though?
I know, like that's the problem because we're having a women's match, like Sheeta versus whoever.
Not a Revolution. I see her like maybe appearing like after Revolution, like on the Dynamite after maybe if they have something for her. You got to have something for her because right now they're still trying to figure out their women's division. So
yeah, and like I mean she's such a great mouthpiece, but yeah, like who would you put her with? Like, and I know she wanted to wrestle anyway, that she didn't want to just be stuck as a manager, but she's a great manager.
Yeah, she's got a good mouthpiece, very good mouthpiece. Yeah. But Maddie Warkowski replaced Anna Jay in the tournament. Totally even forgot about her.
Why did they put like Big Swole or Penelope?
See, this is why I was confused. I'm like, why didn't they just replace with like the other women are just kind of just standing about? There.
Yeah, I don't get it. But apparently the casino game is out now or coming out tomorrow.
Oh, that was the announcement. See, our girl All Elite Tiffany kind of like I wouldn't say ruined that, but she tweeted that she was downloading the game. So I'm like, okay, well, there's the announcement. So yeah, I guess that we can talk about the AEW Women's Tournament. I don't know, man. Tiff, I don't think they've done. It's going to sound sour from me.
Okay.
I don't think they've done a good job with it. I was hyped for it at first. I was hyped after the first round, but I don't think they've done a good job in promoting it. I don't think they've done a good job in kind of like keeping us hyped for it because now it's just like. Now, I think the most part that done it for me is how Nyla Rose just won. I'm like, hey, wait, what? That doesn't make any sense.
I would have loved our girl to win. Like, I love how Tay was all up in Nyla's face. Like, she didn't back down at all. Right? Like,
she
I
had
would
a
have loved
very
for her
good
to move
showing.
on, like, and give her a shot. I know a lot of people think she's still very green. But it would have been great. It would have made it a little more interesting. I hate when you can kind of start predicting stuff. Like, I don't know who it was I was talking to yesterday that I still feel that Rio is going to win this whole tournament. Maybe Britt should win it. I would love one of the...
I think this should have been it. I think they should have pulled it. People were waiting. This should have been the pulled trigger on Britt, because it just would have made sense to have her and Thunder Rosa go at it in the finals because of all the bad blood they've had between each other.
Right.
And or if I would have been okay if they'd done that and Thunder Rosa beat Britt Baker to get to the finals, because then that's Thunder Rosa overcoming Britt from the last loss. But now that just doesn't make sense, because now if Thunder Rosa goes on, it's like, hey, it's like Thunder Rosa and Nyla Rose. What? Like,
I don't know. I like a lot of the Japanese girls, that I wish like it wasn't just like one-sided. I would have loved to see them, and I know it's like impossible, but like to have them wrestle the American side. It would have been maybe. I don't know.
So updated bracket, I'll put up on the screen for you guys. So we have there Yuka Sakazaki, who I love, but man, her entrance is hilarious. Like, yeah. I die every time I hear that. She's gonna face off against Ryo Mizunami in the Japan final, and then Nyla Rose will face the winner of Riho and Thunder Rosa, which is oddly happening Sunday now for some reason. Like this Sunday on BR Live. I'm like, hey, where did this come from, and why are they doing it on BR Live?
Right.
Like that just, again, that's another thing that kind of ruined it for me. I'm like, what are you guys doing? You only have a few matches left. You could have squeezed this on Dynamite next week.
Yeah.
There's room. You guys,
I mean, I get it, because
build-up.
they wanted to feature it on BR Live to try to get some more people over there and have a good relationship with BR Live. So I get why they're doing it, but it's a lot. Like, we're getting a lot of wrestling. So Tuesday, Wednesday, that it's like trying to keep up a little bit with Impact, and now this, and it's a lot.
And then I do find it cool that they're adding a match too for BR Live. It's not just you're going to tune in to watch two matches. You're going to have Thunder Rosa and Thunder Rosa and Riho, which is going to be a great match. Then we have the Japan final bracket, which is going to be a good match. And then we have that sweet 6-woman tag that they added with basically everyone that's been in the tournament. And, we're getting Maki Ito back, which is great, Everyone, like, she's become so popular, more than she was already. And it's going to be so hard for AEW to get her.
Right.
I think they should throw any kind of money they can at her. They need to bring her over. I don't care what anybody says. They need to bring her over.
Yeah.
Again, the women's tournament, I know since Wednesday, or since this past, after Monday, I've kind of just, not I've lost interest, but I've lost like the same feeling I had for the beginning of the tournament. I think they do need to do a better job with these tournaments. It kind of feels like the last couple of tournaments they've done, they haven't felt like tournaments. Like, there's no excitement. They don't really do a good job promoting it and doing stuff with it. You can't just stick stuff on YouTube and expect people to be hyped for it.
Right.
You need to feature it on Dynamite. And you don't just feature like one. There've only been 2 matches out of the whole entire tournament on Dynamite so far.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, we're building up to Revolution. Revolution looks absolutely stacked now. They have 8 confirmed matches. I'll put up on the screen for you guys. We have a Casino Tag Team Battle Royal, which is interesting. Miro and Kip Sabian are going to face Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Young Bucks are going to face, obviously, Jericho and MJF for the tag belts. The Street Fight, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks against Sting and Darby. Ricardo Shida will face the winner of the tournament for the AEW Women's Belt. We have the big money match of Matt Hardy and Hangman Page. The face of the Revolution ladder match, which now has 4 out of the 6 participants. And then we have, obviously, the main event, the exploding barbed wire death match between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega. And they did such a good job this week building that up. The promo video for them this week, just showing how long the story has come together. And it's probably the best storyline in pro wrestling right now. This story has been going on since the first Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
Like, these two have been feuding since then.
Round circle, yeah.
It's crazy. I think it's still going to go on beyond this. I think eventually, like, they're not going to keep going after this, but eventually they're going to come back at it. These two, it's like, this is the feud. This is the main feud. You look at this company. Who are the two guys that always end up going up against each other that can feud against each other? They're like the Ciampa and Gargano of AEW, is what I'm trying to say. Like these two have just completely
fight forever. Kind of storyline
feud.
Yeah.
BT this week, guys. If you guys aren't, I have to say this. You guys aren't watching BTE. You need to start watching BTE. Like stuff actually happens on BTE that translates to Dynamite. If you're ever confused about some things, they build on certain feuds on BTE, and it's like watching BTE for the Dark Order segments is probably the funniest thing you'll ever see all week. I guarantee you that. The Good Brothers' reason. Oh my God, the Good Brothers' reason for being so late.
Oh my God, that was too funny with the whole bathroom thing.
Can I say the word they said without us getting a strike? Can I say this? Does YouTube know what catching a kiz means?
Jeez. I can't.
That's the reason why they were late. That was clever editing, though. That was very clever editing. Brandon Cutler, man, good job.
I love Brandon Cutler.
Mama and Papa Buck, that was so cute though. The whole like vlog.
Oh yeah,
travel
like,
vlog with those
so
two.
Cute. Yeah, the
like
truck that they're taking the pictures. Yeah.
the dad with Papa Buck being the typical dad in the football arena. They're just taking random pictures and doing the whole like the whole 40-year-old thing,
like the tourist thing, and like
this thing.
That's cool though. It's like nice to see that. I like that we got like a little bit of a old BTE kind of feel, like old school.
Yeah, and they showed him the production truck, and
yeah,
that Papa Buck was crying. That's funny. Then that was cool. So Kenny and Cutler filmed something in some arcade, I'm gonna assume, for the
it was at a
tonight.
store.
So the owners challenged Kenny to a Street Fighter match. I'm like, do they know what they're getting themselves into? Like,
well, yeah, because if they're challenging him, of course they knew.
Well, Kenny beat both of them. So.
Well, yeah, it's Kenny.
It's funny that Isaiah's still pissed about the $12.
Hey, you forgot about the $12. I forgot about the $12.
That's still funny. I love how the continuity in that. They just keep that going. That's great.
Oh my God, I died with the whole thing with Allie.
But what about the VIP necklace they gave Isaiah?
Oh my!
He was so happy. Oh yeah, the Allie and Brandon Cutler. That's so funny.
So it was like the best. I could keep watching those little like tidbits with each other.
And then they were calling Matt Jackson. Was calling Jake Hager Jack Swagger.
Oh my goodness!
You can't do that, Matt. He owns that name. I love the little jabs. And then the Dark Order segment. You're just.
The whole
this is why you watch these things. This is
Hangman
why you watch
fucks.
Yeah. The
Hangman
frog
fucks.
pussy.
Oh jeez.
The frog's pussy. The bee's knees. The frogs. Hangman fucks chant.
Oh, Lord.
And then Hangman. The best part is when Hangman comes in and joins in. I'm like, hey, these are great. BT can just be this, and I would still tune in every week. Like I would tune in when they post it. So good.
The whole Sammy wearing the BTE belt at the end being like Shawn Michaels. I'm oh my God. Like who hasn't tried to do the Shawn Michaels pose with the belt?
He's just like, I don't feel like being in AEW right now. I'm the BT champ. I sure I want to.
I love it.
He's so cocky with that BTE belt now.
Good. It's great.
And now he's defending it on his Sammy vlogs, which is cool. So they're trying to get, cross watching, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Dynamite.
Alrighty.
Dynamite.
It was like kind of a weird episode, but it was kind of refreshing too because we didn't get to see like a lot of the same things that we've been kind of seeing. So I felt like we got a lot more paid attention to like other roster members, which was great.
Do you get? I have to ask because I always have to ask when this happens because I didn't get no picture-in-picture this week. Did TNT give you picture-in-picture this week?
I don't think there was. I think it was like a couple, maybe. Not much, but yeah, we got a lot of regular commercials.
0 TSN Wrestling. 0. And I know that because it's taped. Whenever the AEW's taped, I get 0 picture-in-picture, like whatsoever, like none.
Right.
If I get 1 or 2, then it's live. But if it's all like no picture-in-picture at all, it's taped. And you can tell it was taped. They didn't show the crowd once throughout the whole show. And you can tell the fake crowd noise is god-awful. I understand companies doing it, but I absolutely hate the fake crowd noise. It's god-awful. It's terrible. They had to do it though. I understand. They opened up really interesting because Nick Nemeth, is it Nick Nemeth or is that his brother? The Nemeth brother, the non-Dolph Ziggler.
Oh my God.
He tweeted after saying that
Nemeth,
wasn't a squash match. I'm like, then what was that?
That was like,
You got killed by Jon Moxley.
well, you knew that. So it's funny because now like I just see like Dolph and I'm like,
Oh, it's uncanny. It's like Dolph with when Dolph had short hair like that. Like bro, Nemeth, dye your hair or something. Like start to look not like your brother. Unless you're doing it on purpose. And I don't think it's been made clear if you're doing it on purpose yet. Change your style, man. Because all I see is early Dolph Ziggler in him.
Brad is calling him the Dollar Dolph.
He is. He's the Dollar Tree Dolph Ziggler. Not trying to be that mean. I'm just saying.
Oh
He's
my
the
God. I
poor
still
man's
think
Dolph
what's his
Ziggler.
name still looks like him more.
He's if you tried to create Dolph Ziggler in 2K, but you didn't use a skin. You just tried to create him yourself.
Oh, it's the Dollar Tree special.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a decent match, but he got squashed. Great promo after by Mox. Mox, obviously, king of promos. Say it all the time.
Yeah.
Guy can cut a promo so well.
Yeah, he definitely can. How could you not love him?
And he's living for this dead match. You can tell even in his promos that he literally is like for real, not just promo. He's living for this death match and he's having so much fun and he can't wait to do it. And he's like, if I have to go out like this, so be it. If I die in this death match, if I step on a mine, who cares? I went out doing the thing I loved. So
I love this Jon Moxley, and I'll continue to say it that I didn't like him as Dean Ambrose. And like it's just more believable now as Jon Moxley, and he's in his element, and he likes to do what he likes to do, and it's like this. It just makes me more excited for this pay-per-view.
He updated it. The ropes are going to be wrapped in barbed wire. So it won't
See?
be barbed wire ropes. They're going to be wrapped in barbed wire. So basically, I think during like a timeout or whatever, they're going to be doing a backstage segment. They're going to go out there and wrap them up really quick.
Yeah, that's easier probably than just making it rope by itself because I've seen it done.
And then mines on the floor, like real mines. Like what's going on with that? Like is there going to be like, are they going to step on something and it's going to go? What does that mean?
That's Kyle. It's going to be real ones.
No, but you know what I mean. Like what does that mean? Mines on the floor. Like in wrestling, what does that mean? Have you watched a death match where there are mines on the floor?
No.
I need to
Legos.
Legos. Mines, Legos, same thing. Anyways. Varsity Blondes took on Team Taz. I mean, Varsity Blondes, they're growing on me. Okay?
Yeah.
These guys are showing, I think, everybody week by week that they can be a really good tag team, and they can do a lot with them. Especially Griff Garrison. He's my favorite out of the two. They have a gem in that guy. I think, but we just need to see one thing out of both of them. Like, we've seen them wrestle. I think we need to see what kind of they do on the mic and promo-wise.
Yeah.
If they can cut good promos, man, Varsity Blondes, top team in the division. They have the look. They have the chemistry. If they can complete the package, I think they're golden. So I hope they can.
I don't know if they can get like completely like behind it though, but I don't know. We'll see.
Something.
Things have changed for me. Like I was kind of like not feeling a lot of people, and then as time goes, I start feeling a bunch of people.
They need something because they're called the Varsity Blondes. I feel like they're missing something.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't put my pin on it, but
I've seen people say they should have varsity jackets, maybe.
Oh God!
Like, cause they're called Varsity Blondes.
Like
have the
real
look.
Saved by the Bell people.
Yeah. Come out to the Saved by the Bell theme. Tony Khan can go purchase the theme if he wanted to out of his back pocket, and then they can come out to Saved by the... If they came out to the Saved by the Bell theme song, do you know how over they would be?
Oh my God, stop. Maybe I caught on to something here. Would you guys like...
They would be over as shit if they came out to Saved by the Bell theme song.
That
Just
was
saying.
like the Zach Morris phone. And
oh my God. They can do like Saved by the Bell segments on BTE.
Tia can come out as like Kelly.
Tony
as
Khan,
the
listen to this
cheerleader.
podcast, please. Take our ideas and do it. We don't care. Take our ideas.
No.
Yes. What do you mean no?
I'm just thinking, not you with that. I'm just thinking no, like thinking about it.
I'd be all for it anyways. But Tony Khan,
shit.
according to Tony Khan on commentary, this was told by Tony Khan, Sting apparently is medically cleared.
Oh,
and he's also fine after the power bomb.
So We've established today on Twitter that I have PTSD with all the snow, and that's why I rage every week about the snow.
Okay, we do rage. We've been raging hard on every Sting segment leading up to now. But this was probably the coolest thing they've ever done since Sting's debut. This whole segment was amazing. With the vignette, I was saying for weeks. I'm like, I can't wait for the vignette and Darby segment, like vignettes to happen.
Yeah.
Look what we got. We had Sting dragging Darby.
Yeah. It was
and
great.
Then he had the Sting makeup and he smiled at him. I'm like, oh my God, like finally, where was this? Oh, where was this?
We finally got something. We're getting the payoff, right?
And then
we're finally getting it.
He freaking comes down like Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
From the ceiling, doing the whole like half Shawn Michaels, half Sting thing. And I'm like, oh my God. And I think someone commented on our Twitter account saying, like, oh, that's dangerous, since the Owen Hart thing. I'm like,
yeah,
you're telling me that they didn't practice this?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, like, not good.
They were safe. They're in a performing arts center for one. I'm sure that was probably already set up from like a ballet show.
Yeah, it probably wasn't as high. McDuff,
man, still barking. But that was so cool. That was like an unbelievable moment. Him swinging down like that is the perfect. I wish they'd done that next week though. To like that, I feel God, freaking dog. I wish that was the build up for the match itself. Like this should have been in the go home show,
right?
Because now I'm hype. Because now I'm so hype.
It felt like I think a couple of people were saying that on Twitter yesterday that it felt a little like a go home show. So we
what's
still
next
have
week gonna be?
Yeah.
Are we gonna have a 2-night revolution?
So what's next week gonna entail?
Oh man, it just I mean next week I have it up here on the screen. So they have 5 things booked for next week. So obviously we have Jade and Shaq, Cody and Red Velvet, what that is. But Chris Jericho and MJF are gonna have a press conference. Dark Order's 10 is gonna face Max Caster to determine the last spot before the surprise one at the Revolution pay-per-view. Dark Order is gonna face Matt Hardy, Private Party, and the Hybrid 2, and then FTR is going to be in the ring with Tully against Jurassic Express. So that seems like that Dynamite should have happened this week, and this week's Dynamite should have happened next week.
Right.
I feel like they kind of got that mixed up.
Well, hopefully we'll see what happens, but
yeah, but that was an incredible moment. I was hype. I was so hype. I'm just looking also forward to really quickly touch base. I hope Miro's done with this whole Orange Cassidy.
I'm not feeling it. It needs to end. It's taking way too long to end.
It's going to sound mean. I really don't give a shit about this match at Revolution. Like, I don't care. I really hope that's the pre-show because, like, I don't care about that feud. No one does, I don't think. I've never seen anyone saying, oh, can't wait for this. Can't wait to see Kip and Miro against Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Ooh.
Oh, God.
Sorry, just like I'm just saying, like it really died. I think it's run its course. I think it's run its course at the wedding. They should have ended it right there. I'm not sure why it's continuing, but I hope this is the end. Miro needs to leave and go on a tear. Just go on a tear of the roster. Just go nuts.
Yeah.
Our boy Cutler got a Dynamite match, and again, like I said, if you guys should be watching BTE. If you watch BTE this week, you got the reason why Cutler got a match this week. The Young Bucks thanked him for coming out and saving them, and they rewarded him with a Dynamite match. They're like, you travel around, do the BT stuff all the time, and you do all this hard work. We're gonna give you a Dynamite match. You'll face Jake Hager, who attacked you during the beatdown. So, Cutler wrestling and Dynamite, we are pretty excited.
Shout out to Cutler.
I mean,
I love his gear.
Yeah, him and his entrance and his gear, amazing, so cool. Jake Hager though, just like he's kind of lost his muster. If there was any to begin with.
I can't. No. I can't with him. I just can't. Go away.
The match was only okay. And I mean, Proud and Powerful and Wardlow came out for the beatdown. Then the Young Bucks came out for the save.
This
Young Bucks
whole
got on the mic.
Ending made it savable. I feel
it
like.
was. If it wasn't for this ending, us too, and people would be like, "Hey, why did this match even happen?
Yeah,
why wasn't it on Dark?"
It was funny because I was talking to Smart to Death Anthony, and And then he just got back into like AEW recently. And then he was like, I know you love Brandon Cutler. He was like, but they should have cut this match and put a women's match. But it made sense. And then he kind of agreed with the whole fact of how this segment went after.
Oh, for sure. If the segment after didn't happen, dark, 100%.
Yeah.
That should have been done dark.
Right.
But the fact that we got, Young Bucks calling out MJF and Jericho saying, we're not waiting till Revolution, come out here. I love when they do promos like that.
Right.
That creates hype for pay-per-view matches and continuity. I like when stuff that happens. And then stuff like this where MJF and Jericho had Papa Buck in the back, bloodied up, and then threw him into the production truck that had Matt and Nick's face on it. I'm like, thank you. This is what we need. Yeah,
this saved the match because I know me and Kyle were not looking forward to this. And I think a lot of people felt the same way. But I feel like this whole segment as a whole saved us and got me hyped for Revolution with this match.
Now, correct me if I'm going too far here. Is it wrong for me to say that they were really running too concernedly? When they cut back to young Matt and Nick running, they were kind of like doing the ginger run.
Listen. That beautiful hair that Matt has.
You can't mess it up. Can't run too fast. Got to make it look good for camera, I guess.
Yes. That beautiful hair. Okay, leave my husband alone.
I'm going to quickly touch base on this. I brought it up on Twitter. Kind of got a little bit of flack, but people understood where I was coming from. I'm still not sold on Jade Cargill. Sorry. People that are. People came to her defense quickly. I'm like, hey, wait. I'm not a fan of her because we haven't seen anything from her but a couple of promos and some powerlifting videos. How can I back her up from seeing that? Anyone with a good physique can come in and do exactly what she just did. And then you'd be like, oh, whoa, this person's going to be so good. No. We wait until we see what she's like in the ring. I will eat my words. I'm telling you guys right now, I will eat my words. If she comes into the ring next week and she proves me wrong, and she has a good showing.
You know what? Fine. I hope she proves us wrong. I do. I
really do. Because I think she could be a really good talent if she's...
I think it's better when we kind of have like that low, expectation. And then it's like that wow factor. So I really hope that we get that. I do.
At the time being though, not doing it. Cool, you can power lift. So can every bodybuilder with your physique. What is so different from you? What is so different from Brian Cage going into the gym and lifting twice your size?
Oh God, no.
Like, what's the difference? You can't get me hyped on powerlifting videos. Anyways, or Shaq coaching you. Like, ooh. Shaq, the wrestling guru.
Oh, man.
Anyways, Isaiah Cassidy had a one-on-one match with Hangman. I know you were kind of hyped for Isaiah, but Tiff, how are you feeling about heel Isaiah? How are you with that?
It's so hard for me to watch Private Party as a heel.
It's weird.
It's so hard for me.
Tiff's offended.
It doesn't matter. Attacked. I'm loyal as fuck. So like that's still my boy. They had a good match though. Like him and Isaiah and Hangman. Yeah, that was great. Great chemistry.
Hangman's
it was good.
Made some new friends.
I love it that Dark Order is still like coming out and now we're getting
BT. What happened this week? They told him that we understand we don't want you to join. We're gonna stop asking you to join the Dark Order, but we still want to be friends. And if you're ever in need of help, we want to be there. And Hangman agreed. Right. So I like that. I like, that's why you kind of have to tune in.
Telling you, eventually, like it will happen and it will be great. And we'll all eat cake.
We'll all eat cake.
We'll all eat cake.
And Matt Hardy got pissed after being thrown out. So later on, we saw him on the mic, or we heard him on the mics. He was pissed that Hangman kind of chose, quote unquote, the Dark Order, even though he's not really part of them. And he comes out and he throws Alan Angels off the stage.
Jeez.
So again, we're adding, fuel to that big money match. That's why again, like we just said, like why wasn't this episode of Dynamite put next week?
Yeah, well, as it's true, because even like we were supposed to get AEW this weekend.
Yeah, and then move on. Quickly touch base on Omega. He's in a workshop building some sort of Moxley. They call it Moxley Extermination Chamber. I don't know if we're gonna get some sort of chamber thing at the pay-per-view. I don't know what that means. Like a chamber full of barbed wire. We're gonna get something crazy, Tiff. If we got the barbed wire bed at the unsanctioned match, we know we're gonna see something absolutely nuts.
Good
in this death match.
Good. Let's go.
But Kenny's outfit.
Give me light tubes, okay?
If they don't have light tubes, I don't know. I think we'll be pretty disappointed.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna
you can't
cry.
call it a death match without light tubes.
I'm gonna be crushed. I'm gonna cry. I'm
gonna feel offended.
I'm gonna feel personally attacked.
Yeah, they're listening. They're like, "Hey guys, Tiff likes light tubes. Nix it.
No, I hate light tubes.
Don't do light tubes, please." Anyways, semifinal of the women's tournament, Nyla Rose against Britt Baker. So this was a very controversial match. Britt's random hissy fit that she had in the match was really entertaining. I love the continuity though. Nyla almost went for that same move that broke, or that that kind of, I think it was broke Britt's leg. Remember when she was in the wheelchair for like half the summer? She was going to do the same move that Nyla did to her that broke her leg. So I love that they kind of played that, and the commentary made mention of it. I thought it was still a good match despite the outcome. It was a good showing by both. I think Britt's match, her last match, was a little bit better than this one, but I think they still had a good match. But Nyla Rose moving to the finals, this really ticked a lot of people off. I saw a lot of hate towards this because this tournament kind of seemed like it was setting up Britt's, like this was going to be Britt's time.
Yeah.
And wondering why didn't they pull the trigger on Britt Baker here? I can't put it together. I can't see why they didn't pull the trigger. I don't know if it's a crowd thing or they're waiting for something like that to happen. Maybe it's going to feel better in the end, or it just seems like the story is there for Britt to have met Thunder Rosa in the finals. And I think people wanted to see that. It was a little bit predictable, but
unless like Britt causes Thunder.
So that's what I mean. So
yeah, that's what I feel like it's going.
And I mean, the story's still there with Nyla and Riho. They were the first,
Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna come down to.
Yeah. So live Sunday on BR Live, those two matches, and then main event was really good. Ray Phoenix faced Lance Archer.
Oh my God, this was so good.
Very interesting dynamic. So good. Too. Like a guy like Lance Archer facing a guy like Ray Phoenix. You wouldn't have thought that they would have a good match. Maybe some people would have been like, "Oh, that would have been sweet," but to me, I'm going into it going, "Okay, I think it's gonna be a good match," but I didn't think it was gonna be that good.
I felt like it was one of those matches that, what's it called? That you didn't know you needed until we saw it.
Yeah,
that's how I personally kind of felt with it.
The Spanish Fly got me.
Oh my God!
Phoenix pulled the Spanish Fly in Lance Archer, not the other way around. That's incredible. I mean, it's a lot of help from Lance Archer, but there's a lot of spots in this match that both these guys did a very good job. Like Ray Phoenix is always, I mean, the guy is going to have no legs by the time he's 50. We said it before. Like he's just going to go and jump. He's going to jump and break his, like he always has like crazy suicide dives. But this match was really good. I thought they did a good job. You saw Lance Archer even fist bumping Ray Phoenix at the end, showing him respect. Man, Lance Archer could be a really good babyface. This guy has the tools to be a really good babyface. But if he does, and if that's what they're going towards, because it kind of seems it that way, you got to lose Jake Roberts. The Jake Roberts and him as a babyface just doesn't work because Jake Roberts isn't a babyface. He's never been a babyface. He's way better as a heel. He's that guy that's always going to be a permanent heel, and he's not a babyface manager. So right. You got, and I think it'd be good to lose Jake Roberts because I don't want him reaching for his puffer ever again on live TV. Like I don't want to see that again.
Oh jeez.
Just saying, less Lance Archer, the better. But again, like I said, this week's Dynamite should have been next week, and next week should have been this week. Because the way it looks, this was the go home show. Maybe I'll miss next week just on purpose.
Oh, Lord.
Just so I can stay hyped for the pay per view because I'm hyped now. Like I'm very hyped. They could have had this as the go home show, and I could have been the cape after Dynamite. I'm buying the pay per view. Like it's just, I don't know why this wasn't moved to next week. It was taped. They could have.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Anywho.
Okay.
Next week, though, guys.
I'm ready.
AEP is our All Elite Podcast AEW Revolution predictions. I know I said I would have some sort of contest going. I'll probably have it done by then. I'm still working things out. It might not go the way I thought it was going to, but we're going to have some sort of contest for a $30 Shop AEW gift card. So make sure you guys tune in next week's prediction show. I'll have it ready to go at the beginning of the show so I can announce it at the beginning of the show. It'll be the game will be sort of prediction wise, so kind of keep your predictions written down because it's going to entail that. So keep an eye out for that. And then we're going to have our boy Sammy Samster, whatever you want to call him, whatever his name he goes by. We're going to find out next week. But he's joining us as a special guest host for the Revolution Prediction Show. So cannot wait to have him on for that.
Yes.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Yep. Yes. So guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following us on all our social media platforms. That is Facebook at All Elite Podcasts, on Instagram at All Elite Pod, and on Twitter at All Elite Pod as well. Make sure you're checking us out on all our audio platforms. Make sure you're searching up the No Holds Barred Network. That's how you get the correct All Elite Podcast. And make sure you check us out on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Pocket Cast, Anchor. Wherever you're getting your podcast, search up the No Holds Barred Network, and you'll find us on there as well. And for you Apple Podcast listeners, make sure you give us a generous 5-star rating and leave us a comment on what you thought about the podcast and all the other great podcasts we provide here on the No Holds Barred Network by myself and Tiffany. And lastly but not least, thank you very much, Darren from This Wolf, for letting us use the song Dead to Me. Is our official theme song, the one you heard in the beginning of the show. Thank you, Darren, for letting us use that song each and every single week here on the podcast. You mean the absolute world to us. So thank you very much for that, Darren. Can't wait. Revolution's just around the corner. Cannot wait. I'm super psyched. Who knows what's going to happen? I doubt we're going to get any. I know I've seen a lot of people, Tiffs, going like, oh, what if Okada shows up at Revolution? I'm like, it's not happening yet. This partnership we just signed, let's give it time, people. Let it grow. We have so much going on. We're watering the seed. Let it grow into the beautiful flower when stuff gets back to normal. And then AEW is going to shake the wrestling world even more than it is now. And I truly believe this is not the end. Big Show is not the only big name that is going to be joining this company eventually. I think there's still a couple other big names that are out there that AEW has their eye on and are just waiting for the right, correct time. So cannot wait for that to happen. We'll see what happens. And we'll see what next week brings. Yes. Could be a better go-home show than this week. We'll have to see. Anywho, guys, that's going to wrap it up here for the All Elite Podcast for myself and Tiff. I'm your self-proclaimed greatest host. I am personally victimized by Danny Jordan. My name is Kyle Masters, and I'm always joined by my co-host. She's the EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the queen of the Indies herself. That's Tiffany. The glazed donut. Tiffany. I don't know if I'm going to refer to you that every week, but you're the glazed donut this week, Tiffany. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you guys back here next Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the AEW Revolution Prediction Show. Take it easy. Me, I'm self-fulfilling prophecies. Fight for what I just can't keep. Times justified to feel like